So, welcome friends to our first video of our new YouTube channel. So, our new YouTube channel is based only on learning of facts. Our new YouTube channel is based on learning. Study is the motive of our new YouTube channel. First of all, I want to tell you that I have posted some videos on my first YouTube channel, that is Vedan Mante, and now I have changed my YouTube channel's name to Learn with Vedan Mante. So, let's inaugurate our name. Okay, friends, let's move on. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon near it, as you will receive all the notifications of my new videos. I will post every new video on I will post a new video on new topic on Sunday. So, today's our topic is theory of atoms. Yes, theory of atoms. Many scientists have put forth theory on this small stuff atoms. Yes, but many of you are thinking that what is meant by this atom? Yes, what is this atom? So let's see this. What is this atom? So what is meant by atom? An atom is the smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. A solid, liquid, gas, and plasma is composed of neutral or ionized atoms. Atoms are extremely small, typically around 100 picometers across. Yes, you're saying, hey, wait, friend. Oh, I am waiting. I am telling you, 1 minute. So, friends, an atom is the smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. Yes. So, as you know about H2, what is this H2? Tell me fast. Yes, this is hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom means hydrogen element. Yes, sorry, hydrogen element. So this hydrogen element is made up of two atoms. Yeah, two atoms. And one hydrogen molecule consists of two atoms. So one hydrogen atom combines with one hydrogen atom to form one hydrogen molecule, means an hydrogen element. So as this first sentence tells us that an atom is the smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. Yes, from this I stated you that these hydrogen atoms, when they combine with each other, they form a chemical element called hydrogen. Okay, friends, let me erase this. Let's move on to our next sentence, that is, every solid, liquid, gas, and plasma is composed of neutral or ionized atoms. Now, what is meant by neutral or ionized atoms? Now, neutral or ionized atoms. Now, neutral atom means it does not have positive and negative charge. Yes, friends. It does not have positive or negative charge, means it has same number of positive charges and same number of negative charges, means it is a neutral atom. And a ionized atom means it has whether positive charge or a negative charge. It has whether a positive charge or a negative charge. Now positive charge ionized atoms are called as cations. Cations. Yes, friends. And negatively charged are called as anions. Yes, friends. So cations and anions. So it is simply to understand that positive charge means cations and negative charge means anions. Okay, friends, let me erase this all. Okay, friends, let's move to our next sentence, that is, it tells us that atoms are extremely small, typically around 100 picometers across. Now, as we know about cells and microorganisms, so microorganisms and cells are seen under microscope. Yeah, yes, they are seen under microscope. And These atoms are extremely smaller than them. Yes, these are extremely smaller than them. We use a compound microscope. We use a compound microscope. Compound microscope to see them. And for atoms, we use electron microscope. Electron microscope. Yes, friends. So electron microscope is used for atoms and compound microscope. This electron microscope is more powerful and it is more intensive than this compound microscope. So cells are under the size of nanometers, but these are under the size of picometers, means they are even smaller than them. And today's fact is that cells are made up of atoms. Yes, friends, every matter on this earth is made up of atoms, and our body cells, including animal cells, human cells, are also made up of atoms. Let's go to our next page. Yes, friends. So our next page tells us about Dalton's atomic model. But before that, I want to tell about you that before Dalton's atomic model, there were two theories put forth by the scientist. First was Kanad Muni's Parmanu theory. So what he told in his theory was, he told that the smallest unit of a matter is called Parmanu. Yes, he called the smallest unit of a matter is Parmanu. Parmanu. Smallest unit of a matter as Parmanu. And he also stated that this Parmanu is indestructible, means no one can destroy it. In 6th century BC, he stated this theory. And from this theory, in 5th century BC, Democritus, scientist, put forth a new theory that the smallest unit of a matter is called atom. He does not call it Parmanu, but he called it atom, which we even use it today. Atom. He called it as atom, and he stated that these atoms are indestructible and no one can create it. They are neither be created nor be destroyed. And he derived this atom word from this Greek word. Wait, friends. From this Greek word atomos. Yes, he derived this name from Greek word atomos, means which cannot be cut. Yes, friends. So, after that, Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, stated that an atom which we cannot see by our naked eyes. So, how we can believe on Democritus theory? So, this Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, did not believe on Democritus theory, and he stated that atoms are not there. But in centuries and centuries gone, and a scientist, John Dalton, had proposed a new atomic model and a new atomic theory that we are calling it as Dalton's atomic model. Yes, friends, Dalton's atomic model. So Dalton stated that the theory proposed by Democritus was absolutely correct. And he also stated with that theory that all matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are indivisible and indestructible. As it was proposed by Democritus, he taken that point that all matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are indivisible and indestructible. Second point, he stated that all atoms of a given element are identical in mass and properties. Yes, friends. As we taken the example of hydrogen atom. So this is H2, an hydrogen element. It has two atoms, as we know. So he stated that one hydrogen atom and the other hydrogen atom, which combine to form an hydrogen element. So these two hydrogen atoms are identical. Yes, these are same in mass and in their properties. They are identical. So he stated that whether the element O2, N2, N2, nitrogen, oxygen, they all come, they all the atoms combine to form this element, their molecules. So the atoms which combine to form molecules or an elements are identical. The atoms of all elements like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they are all identical. They are all identical. Let me erase this. Okay, friends. Now, the third point that he stated was compounds are formed by a combination of two or more different kinds of atom. Yes, let me show it to you. Yes, compounds. Now, compounds, as we know about the compound HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. So, now hydrochloric acid is formed when one hydrogen atom and one chlorine atom combines together. Yes, friends. So, he stated that this hydrogen atom and this chlorine atom are not identical. These are different. And when different atoms come together, they form a compound. So this hydrogen atom, this is different from this chlorine atom in mass, its properties. When they come together, they form compounds. Yes, friends. Now the fourth point he stated that a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of atoms. Now rearrangement of atoms. As we know about chemical reactions, one minute friends. Yes, as we know about chemical reactions, so when a chemical reaction occurs, the rearrangement of atom happens. Like when compounds are formed. So the compounds have the properties opposite from the atoms or elements from which they are formed. Like that way, it is stating us that a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of atoms. It's a rearrangement of atoms. Let's move forward. Now, after years, scientist named J.J. Thomson proposed a new theory about atoms. And when he observed the atom, he seen from that microscope that the atom was composed of positive and negative charges. Yes, friends. So, he stated that atoms are not the smaller, means it is the smallest part of an unit of an matter, but we can also divide atom. So, the theory of Dalton, Democritus, and Kanadmuni, which they stated that atoms cannot be further divided, was wrong. Atoms can be further divided. So, he stated that atoms can be further divided. So, when you observe that, he stated from that there is a spherical cloud of positive charge, as you can see there, and the electrons means the negative charge. He given a name to this negative charge as electrons. Yes, and when the spherical cloud of positive charge is there, the electrons are embedded in it. So the positive charge is balanced by the negative charge, means the electrons. So the number of positive charge and number of negative charge are same in an atom. So the atom is electrically neutral. This is also called as plum pudding model of an atom. Yes, friends. This is also called as plum pudding model of an atom. As you know, plum pudding is a special Christmas dish prepared on a Christmas. It is a dish used to celebrate Christmas. Like that way, he used that plum pudding model to describe his atomic model. Let's move forward. Don't be hungry, friends. Rutherford's atomic model. Now, a scientist, Ernest Rutherford, when he did a gold foil experiment, what he did was, I will tell you, what he did was he taken an alpha particle emitter and a gold foil. So he surrounded that gold foil and only the entrance part was not surrounded. So when these alpha particles were emitted through the alpha particle emitter and when they collide with gold foil, he came to see that some of the alpha particles, means the rays of alpha particles, were going straight forward. Some were colliding and were changing their direction like this, like this, like this. And some of the particles were directly coming backwards from which direction they have came. He observed this and he stated from this as, 1 minute, I will tell you. Let me erase this. He stated from this that the Thomson's atomic model was not correct. As the Thomson's atomic model tells us that there is spherical cloud of positive charge and electrons are embedded in it. The negative charge is embedded in it. This is wrong. We can divide atom like this. Means the nucleus is in the center and the electrons are revolving around it. The electrons are revolving around it, as you can see here. The electrons are revolving around it. So why did he did like this way? When the alpha particles were going straight, no, alpha particles were coming direct backwards. So they were colliding with nucleus. As we know that when they were colliding with nucleus, they were coming straight backwards. And alpha particle has negative charge. So when positive and negative charges collide with each other, repulsion happens. So they were coming direct backwards. And then when they collide with electrons, they were changing their direction. They were changing their directions. And some of the rays were going straight forward. Why? Because he stated that there is an empty space between the electrons and nucleus, as you can see here. There is an empty space between the electrons and nucleus. He stated that electrons are revolving in an orbit around the nucleus, like the planets of our solar system. They are revolving around the nucleus. This was Rutherford's atomic model. He stated in its model that, I will again repeat it for you, that there is a nucleus in the central. All the mass of an atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in an particular orbit. And there is an empty space between the electrons and nucleus. This was the Rutherford's atomic model. Now we will go forward and see the new atomic model. So, scientist Niels Bohr proposed a new atomic model. Why? Because the Rutherford's atomic model was failed to prove to stability of atoms. He did not prove the stability of atoms. Why? Because the law of physics tells us that an established law of physics, an electrical charge body, when it is revolving in a circular orbit, its energy decreases. But it was not stated in Rutherford's atomic model, and as we can see its structure, the atom was unstable. Therefore, scientist Niels Bohr proposed a new atomic model. And that atomic model came to be known as, 1 minute friends, that atomic model came to be known as Bohr's atomic model. Yes, friends. Yes, friends. So, what does the Bohr's atomic model state us? So, the Bohr's atomic model tells us that electrons move in concentric orbits. Yes, friends. This electron, they move in the concentric orbits. These electrons move in concentric orbits like this KLMN. He given the name to this orbit as the first orbit K, that is the first orbit. The second orbit L, that is the second orbit, and the third orbit M, and the fourth orbit N. KLMN. So he given this name to the orbits. So he also stated that energy of an electron is constant while it is in a particular orbit. Yes, friend. Energy of electron is constant while it is in a particular orbit. Means when it is in a first orbit, that is k orbit. Suppose here it's an electron. When it is in the k orbit, its energy is constant while it is moving. Its energy does not change. And he also stated that when an electron jumps from an inner orbit to an outer orbit, it absorbs energy. Why? Because it wants to go away from the nucleus. So it needs to absorb energy. And when an electron jumps from an outer orbit to an inner orbit, it emits energy. As the orbit's level increases, means the as orbit goes far from the nucleus, its energy also increases, and as it get closest to the nucleus, its energy decreases. He also stated that the energy when it emits energy and absorbs energy is equal to the difference of its energy level. Yes, friends. And the electrons are from a certain distance, they are placed from a certain distance from this nucleus. Yes, friends. This was the Bohr's atomic model, and we are seeing the modern model of an atom like this in our textbook. We have been we are studying this model of atom in our textbooks. But friends, I want to tell you one thing. You will shock from hearing this news. You will be shocked by hearing this news that this is not the correct model of an atom. Yes, friends. As in this model of an atom, we have been told that this is a positively charged nucleus and protons and neutrons are present in it. As the equal number of neutrons are in this orbitals, there means the neutrons, suppose the electrons are 2 in the K shell. So the protons will be in the nucleus 2, means they are balanced by each other. Means if K shell has 2, suppose an atom is there, it has 2 electrons, so the number of proton will be 2, but number of neutron can be vary. So the nucleus contains protons and neutrons, and the electrons are revolving around it. Neutron has no charge. Neutron has no charge. Proton has positive charge. You can see that. N for neutral, neutron has no charge. P for proton, means proton has positively charged. And E for electron, means that is not combining, but electron has negative charge. Yes, friends. So this is the model proposed by Niels Bohr, a Danish scientist. But this is not the correct model of an atom, as I was telling you. So the correct model of an atom is this. You will be shocked by hearing this news. The correct model of an atom, that is the modern model of an atom, is the quantum mechanics model of an atom. Yes, friends. I want to tell you the difference first between them. That Niels Bohr, who means he seen, many of the scientists seen the atomic model as a particle model, means they studied it by particle, but in quantum mechanics model of an atom, it is studied by the wave theory. Yes, friends. Electrons are considered as waves, their energies, but in the previous models it was considered as particle. Don't be confused, friends, about waves and particles. I will tell you what is this waves and particles. Friends, suppose these are the particles in the air, and when you will, suppose I am talking to you, hello. So the wave is created. Yes. So what is the difference between particle and wave? So wave is due to particles. Yes. Now see, wave is created because particles move from their place. Means not move, but they are upward, backwards. Means they are going up, down. So we think that the wave is created. But the wave is created due to particle. You can see this. The particles which are going up, down. This is meant as wave. So In this quantum mechanics model of an atom, they studied it by wave. Here you can see that 2s orbital, 1s orbital, nucleus, it is in the center. But as we seen, the nucleus was big. It is really small in the quantum mechanics model of an atom. There are orbitals and there is a fuzzy cloud. In that it is nucleus. And the position of electron cannot be determined. Means we cannot determine the position of electron. It can be here, it can be here. It is like a surprise math test. It can be here on this date, it can be here on this date, it can be here on this date. We cannot determine it. It is like a surprise test to us. Yes, friends. So this was quantum mechanics model of an atom. Now there is one question in mind. Who put forth this quantum mechanics model of an atom? Yes, we will study about that. So the quantum mechanics model of an atom was put forth by Erwin Schrödinger. So Erwin Schrödinger, he put forth this quantum mechanics model of an atom. So the quantum mechanical model was proposed in the 1920s when scientists Erwin Schrödinger and Louis Victor de Broglie determined that the previous model, the Bohr model, was not useful for determining electron locations. Yes, friends, the Niels Bohr model was correct, but it was not absolutely correct. Yes, we cannot determine the electron location from that model, but we can determine the electron location by the quantum mechanics model of an atom. Means not proofly determine, but we can assume it that the electron location is here. So the quantum mechanics model of an atom is the modern model of an atom, and not the Niels Bohr model of an atom. But in our textbooks, we study Niels Bohr atomic model because we are learning basic. And diagrammatically, if we have to draw the diagram, the Bohr's atomic model is used worldwide to draw diagrams of atoms. And if we have to study it, so the quantum physics is an different branch of physics which studies about quantum mechanics. Yes, friends, let's move forward. Postulates of quantum mechanics model of an atom. Now what are the postulates? The postulates are the electrons in an atom have only quantized value of energy. Quantized value of energy means they have only perfect energy. What we can say in Bohr's model of an atom, they have constant energy in their particular orbits. These quantized values of energy are obtained from the solution of Schrödinger wave equation. This symbol states that an electron can have in an atom. 1 minute, I will tell you. This equation, that is, 1 minute. This you can see it here, that Y-like structure, and 2, that is energy states that an electron can have in an atom, while the wave function, that is the wave function, has no physical meaning. The square of the wave function is does. Means this is called wave function. Wave 2 is. So the quantized value, the wave equation of Schrödinger is wave 2. That it has no physical meaning. This symbol has no physical meaning. It is called as wave 2. So this wave 2 is called the probability density and gives the probability that the electron will be found at the particular location in an atom. This tells us that there is a probability to find an electron, means if it's here. 1 minute, I will tell you. It's here, or it's here. This is the nucleus. It's here, it can be here, it can be here. It tells us about the probability of finding the electron at that point. That is, electron density at that point is more. Means where it is to be found, the density of electron is more there. Okay. Let's move forward, friends. So thank you, friends, to watch this video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon near it. I will post a new video on every Sunday on every new topic on chemistry, mathematics, Marathi, English, Hindi, for every standard. And friends, I have given a link of my test. in description box below. So those who will solve this test on every new Sunday, on the next Sunday, I will tell you the winner of the previous test. Now the test on theory of atoms is given in the description box below. You have to solve that test and submit that test. So I will come to know who is the winner. I will come to know who is the winner, and I will declare the name of the winner on upcoming Sunday on my new video. Thank you, friends. Have a nice day and keep learning. I enjoy to teach with you. Thank you and have a nice day.